the cue from our camera person. It takes just a second for the camera to actually go after you've pressed the button. So that's why, yes, you're going to get the cue from your camera person when he's turned it off.
Hello, shalom, goodbye, and peace. The importance of the Hebrew language. Adonai sifatai tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, but my mouth may declare your glory. The exact definition of the Hebrew language is, according to Merriam-Webster, is the language of the ancient Hebrews. Also, according to Ben Yehuda, Pocket English Dictionary, Hebrew is a language of the sacred language of the Jews. First of all, you might want to know some stuff about the Hebrew before I begin. There are 32 letters, including the final letters, of the Hebrew language. All the letters are not inscribed in here, but there's two different ways you can write them, and this is the way that most people write the Hebrew letters. The letters are as follows: Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Hav, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samach, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Sadi, Kuf, Resh, Sin, Shin, Tav. There are 7 different Hebrew vowels, and some of them have different forms. Also, Hebrew reads left to right. If you read it right to left, Hebrew reads right to left. If you read it left to right, then you will get confused. The Torah. There are no vowels in the Torah at all, and that's what the Torah looks like. Why is Hebrew so extremely important to Jews, to the Jewish and Christian language? Because you have everybody has the 5 books of Moses, which are the most important books, and all of the Torah, and the Christians also use the Old Testament as well. The 5 books of Moses are Genesis, or Bereshit, as we would call them in Hebrew, Exodus, or Shemot, as we would call it in Hebrew, Leviticus, or Vayikra, as the Hebrews would call it, Numbers, or Bimidbar, as the Hebrews would call it, and Deuteronomy, Devarim. The Christians also, the Hebrews and the Christians, and that is the Holocaust Torah. I thought that was important because we all have ancestors, and it is important because not only do we have family in there, do the Jews have family in there, a lot of the Christians have family in there, and that's part of our roots. We also have the Book of the Prophets. The Book of the Prophets is called Nevi'im in Hebrew. Both religions also use the former and latter prophets while studying the Torah. But the Book of Psalms, it is called the Ketuvim in Hebrew, and we use it in the Christian language. We use it in Christianity and as well in Hebrew. As you can see, I have a Tanakh, which contains all the Psalms and all the prayers in the Torah, like your Bible would have. And then I actually have a Bible that has all Hebrew in it, and that's actually German, but I have to use that for class. And that is a book of Psalms in Hebrew. The next thing that's really important, and that's why we can connect, is because of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are some of the most sacred texts in all of the Hebrew language and all of our ancestors. The Dead Sea Scrolls contain information about the history of our ancestors and about the Christian religions and Jewish religions. Of course, they're written in Hebrew, but some of them are written in Aramaic, and there are some that they cannot decide or tell whether they are written in Hebrew or Aramaic. They contain biblical readings and non-biblical readings, which are important again to both religions. They are written in mostly modern-day script, which again is how the Torah is written, and of course how these are written. I couldn't find a better picture because they're so old and sacred, and a lot of people want to preserve them. And some of the scrolls, again, the scholars cannot determine whether they're in Hebrew or Aramaic. I have quotes from some of the people, from some students. This first quote is from Scotty Hagerman. He is a gentleman at my synagogue that I go to. He is in the process of converting to become a Jew. These are his exact words. I edited them a little bit. He says, I think that the Hebrew language is important for a variety of options, because it is traditionally the language of the Jewish people. It is a persecutor of the people's influence of the Christian religion. Hebrew is a beautiful language, enriches Judaism, and makes our people stand out in the nation. I have another quote from Orlando Bruin. Oh boy, can I finish? Okay. I have another quote from Orlando Bloom, who is a student at Bluefield College. This is a very long quote, but I will read some of it. Oh boy. Hebrew is an important language to the Christian and Jewish religions. To Jews, obviously, because it is a language, it is a sacred language. The sacred scriptures were written in. It was the language of Abraham, of Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, and Judah Maccabees Hebrew. Judah Maccabees Hebrew was the language in which God spoke to them. Finally, in conclusion, as I would say, to make it interesting, closing and shalom y'all. Overall, the Hebrew language is extremely important to the language. It is an extremely important language to the Jewish and Christian religions. Because the language is of our ancestors, history, and most importantly, it is the language of our God.